Today on the show, Radical Ones, now that Freddy's a daddy, he's killing for two. It's 1989's A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 5, The Dream Child.
I was in the dream. I don't know how, but now he's back.
It's time to get radical.
Krueger! Well, it ain't Dr. Seuss.
Well, what are you reading that for?
I'm into survival.
You want to know who Fred Krueger was?
This is it, Jennifer. Your big break in TV.
Freddy's coming for you, radical ones. It's Radical Retro Rewind. Nightmare on Elm Street. Summer.
Welcome back, Radical Ones, to another episode of the Radical Retro Rewind podcast. As always, I am your host, Radical Ryan Hunter, here with Rob, the movie geek himself, and everyone's favorite brother, David, for the continuation of A Nightmare on Elm Street Summer. And we are up to, gentlemen, Part 5, The Dream Child from 1989. Guess what? Also released in August 11th.
Wow. How far was the 4 and 5? Was it just a year?
A year.
It just came out in August again. That's funny.
Again, another rushed movie that we'll talk more about. But of course, behind the scenes, rushed again. Well, I don't know what it is about this franchise. But,
yeah, they have to keep going or the momentum dies and they don't want to see it anymore. Who knows? Maybe it's scheduling.
We got some oldies back though. We got Alice back. No longer a redhead though.
Yeah, she's a blonde.
She's a blonde now. Too. I guess blondes have more fun, Alice.
No, they slipped up and was like a redhead superhero? Absolutely not. That was an oversight. We're not doing that again.
Mm-mm.
His mother was a God-fearing woman. His birth was an unspeakable horror.
Please don't let him do that!
His life and death have been one incredible nightmare. But now all that is going to change because Freddy wants to become a daddy. Want to make babies?
What's wrong with me? You're just a little pregnant.
Even if he has to adopt.
No! Do unborn babies dream?
When it comes to chills.
It happened while I was awake.
When it comes to screams.
The party just start.
When it comes to pure terror.
Bon appetit.
No one delivers like Freddy. Better buckle up.
All right, Krueger. This time it's for keeps.
A Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child.
It's a boy.
When it comes to terror, remember, Freddy knows best.
Alice, a survivor of the 4th who believes Freddy Krueger has been eliminated for good. She optimistically hopes to start her life with fellow survivor Dan. The nightmares begin soon enough, and Alice learns she's pregnant. When her friends start dying, Alice suspects that Freddy is using the fetus within her as a weapon. Can she fight the demon while protecting her unborn child? So yes, Lisa Wilcock is back as Alice Johnson. Danny Hassel, well, they didn't do so much of a difference with there, as Dan Gordon is back as well. Wait, isn't Dan Gordon from Charmed? Like, that's the name from Charmed? Isn't that Dan? Neighbor Dan?
Well, no. His name is Jordan.
Oh, why did I write Gordon?
Because it just rolls off the
God.
tongue. Dan is just memorable. Of course we are going to say Gordon. No, I believe his last name is Jordan in the movie.
You're right. It's Jordan, okay. And we actually get Alice's father back
Love
in
it.
this.
Yeah.
And he had a whole life evaluation from the last one.
Yeah, he was supposed to die
One of the
in the
only
other one,
parents?
so it was it was great they kept him and then rehabilitated him, which I would love to discuss with you guys. So
I definitely enjoyed that. I will tell you, I can feel the enjoyment of these movies slipping away from me as I watch this one. I think this is the last one.
there's not many left, but it's just so funny. This slow reveal of okay, I'm getting burnt out. Can I even make it to the end of this summer? You're funny. Okay. Yes, I want to hear more of this.
Because part 4, I have to say, even watching it again, 3, 4 top, as we mentioned, for me. Pretty much. And then even Rob was saying the last time, 4 has been growing on him as he's gotten older. And this, I don't know if it was because of the rush, but I felt like there's a switch now. And I'm like, the things that I like from Freddy are starting to either change or dissipate. And even down to the intro. Once we got Tuesday Night the last time with that banger that we spoke about, to go from that to this blue, dark, naked bodies making love intro, I'm like, that's already the fun is kind of gone. We're losing some of that 80s fun. This is the end. Class of 1989. That's it. The 90s are creeping up on us.
And as adults, we must now prepare for a new life outside this wonderful environment known as Springwood High. So let's blow this pop stand!
I don't know if it's that, but I'm definitely seeing a shift to me. Am I wrong?
Yeah, there is a shift. So yeah, I wrote down, I was like, this is when the franchise stopped being scary and just concentrated more on continuing the story. And so in other words, the scares are a little less. They're doing this just to use any excuse to keep him alive. So the makeup is more cartoony and it's bright. It's not as dark anymore. The quips and witty comments are beyond what the other ones had. I mean, he has something to say every time you see him, and it's just one smart gripe after the other, which probably is why we got less kills in this one.
Really? I mean,
do you feel like it just really relied more on special effects than actual?
I mean,
acting, I guess
it
you
could,
would say maybe.
we could have had a big turn in special effects around that time, and they utilized as much as they could. I mean, I don't know if they had focus groups or anything after these movies were released, but you want to do your best to not necessarily make the sequels better than the predecessor, but find out what works and try and continue that, and then bring something new to the table. And from the transition of part 4 and 5, I don't understand exactly what happened where they were like, oh, this went really well in this one, so now we're going to do this. And it just seemed like a little bit of a totally different movie in tone and everything. And even the friends, honestly, leave it to the 80s to always group these people that have no business being friends with each other. It just never, I just don't get how they meet.
True.
I don't know how they meet.
Alice! Yvonne!
Girl, what's wrong with you? Let's see a smile on your face.
I had kind of a long night.
Dan keeping you up again? Girl, you better put a lock on that window.
The damn part was nice.
Greta, Mark.
I made a note of that. Alice has yet defied the odds of having a very bizarre, eclectic sort of friend group.
Collection.
Greta again is kind of how do I put this? She's not like Kristen, but at the same time, she comes from a very affluent family that's very impressed with money. The Andale mother, Kristen's mother was obviously she had come from money and stuff like that. But that reason why Alice was involved, because Kristen came from an institution, obviously, and then fell in love with her brother. So that's where they came together. Otherwise, I don't think they would have been friends at that point. I think they met through the brother connection, right?
Yeah.
But But maybe then again, Dan being the kind of preppy jock who, you know, is friendly with even the geeks and the nerds and everything, maybe that's where they're coming from. But at the same time, Alice has yet another very eclectic group of friends, different nationalities, different backgrounds, but all very driven in their own way, I would say, you know.
So was she a freshman in the first time we saw her and now she's a senior? Is that what it was? I'm assuming she was a freshman.
It's a really good question. I would say obviously there's a right answer to this. I'm guessing she was a junior and then we get into graduation.
Junior.
I'm just thinking about some of the tests and stuff she had to take. That to me isn't freshman work. That's a little...
Physics was one of them.
But I actually was curious about the timeline of her, you know, having sex with Dan in the credits versus... leading into her being pregnant. I don't know when that happened because the credits ended and then we ended up in her dream. So I don't know when she, you know, would conceive the baby. I'm assuming that's what the whole opening credits were for. So I just wonder the timeline of her doing that and then getting pregnant.
Could that have been a flashback? Just a flashback of one of their making love sessions?
That could be.
Or was it just gratuitous sexual energy to draw you in the beginning? It wasn't a Tuesday night song.
Right?
Of course.
For me, there was one moment I could say had a jump the shark one moment for me. And I'm going to leave it at that, and we can maybe discuss it later. There was a jump the shark moment for me. One moment in the movie that really I did not like. We can discuss it later. Just think about that for a moment.
It didn't come up yet then. Okay.
It did not come up.
Okay. Well,
you thought that was more than one?
No, because I was thinking, did it happen like now? I was like, was it her shower?
No, there was a really annoying jump the shark. I was like, I did not like it. It sucked for me. Ick.
So at the beginning, what brings Freddy back this time is Alice watches Freddy get reborn from the remains of Amanda Krueger's dream.
It's a boy!
You can't come back! I locked the door on you!
But I found the key.
Which seems to blend into the waking world. She's not fully asleep when it happens, suggesting that Freddy is crossing the boundary. Alice's powers are still with her, but Freddy is outsmarting her by using loopholes. So after reading that, it does make more sense because I gotta tell you guys, half the time I'm like, is this the real world? Is this fantasy? Like, to quote the song.
So you mentioned Amanda's dream. So that's who she... Because one of my questions was, are we in Freddy's dream? Why would he show this memory of his mother, you know, getting locked up? So I didn't understand whose dream it was. I didn't know who gave it to her. And so I was confused as well how she ended up in that dream.
I'm reading it and I'm still confused. So we do see...
No, Amanda's spirit. So you later find out that Amanda supposedly commits suicide. And at some point, again, bringing up the religious aspect of this, because Amanda Krueger, you find out, was a nun that was sexually assaulted, we'll just say it nicely, by 1,000 maniacs. So she worked in a mental sanitarium, and that is all of Freddy's fathers. So,
well, honestly, though, there's one we know who the father was. I'm gonna say we don't need more. We don't need more.
When it comes to 2-year-old Jackson, Jason, you are the father.
Yeah, we know who the father is.
Yeah, I do.
Damn, those genetics were strong.
I do.
Her spirit is not rested because supposedly she committed suicide. And according to this religious catechism Bible book that was presented to Alice by her friend, spirits that commit suicide cannot rest unless they're put to rest, which kind of feeds into also when Freddy's body was put to rest. So there is that kind of like supernatural, religious, like spiritual continuity where your spirit is not put to rest, like your body is not put to rest, so your spirit is not put to rest. So I guess I can kind of go with that.
Okay.
So I guess her spirit is like trying to reach out through space and time to help Alice because she is the embodiment of goodness.
Okay. No, that makes sense.
I guess that's what I'm going with. with. That's what I'm going with.
Mark says, and Mark is the comic book artist, he says that Amanda Krueger hung herself.
She spent the rest of her life in the asylum. After Krueger's trial, she flipped out and hung herself. So they thought.
Meaning?
Meaning they couldn't prove it. No body.
The correct term is hanged. I didn't know that. I would have said hung herself too. You're learning language as you're listening to Radical.
It's hooked on phonics for the murderer in you.
It worked for us. By the way, the body in the beginning was not Lisa. That was a stunt body. Good for her. I wouldn't have used my real body either. I'm going to tell you.
Even when she was showering?
Showering, it didn't say, but it says a nude body was used. So
it makes sense.
Give me the best body ever.
I didn't know she was in the room. I just saw Dan. Sorry about it.
I'm sure you did.
Sorry about it.
Dan
looked real good in this movie. He did look good.
Yes, an upgrade.
Yeah. No, he did look great.
From part 4. More personality than ever, I noticed. Alice came out of her shell and, like you said, blonde now. And Dan is just, he was like the life of the party.
Yeah.
What's the matter?
Nothing. It's just, I didn't see my dad at the ceremony.
Well, he'll show up. Hey, come on. What's really wrong?
I had one of those dreams last night.
About him?
Well, not exactly. It's that I just felt like I wasn't in control for the first time since all that.
Look, if you don't dream him up, he can't hurt you. Or us. Remember?
You're right.
There you go. Love you.
I love you.
We have our friend from summer school in this movie. Oh my God, Kelly Jo. I love that she's in this movie because I always loved her character in summer school. And Rob and I did an episode of summer school. I don't think it ended up getting released on Movie Geek and Proud, but
I think it did.
I don't know.
I'll look it up. I think I did release that one, but I'll look it up because I'm curious now.
This is Yvonne?
Yeah.
This is Yvonne, and she is one of the only friend characters that survive. Like this
she's the most I speak your name, Yvonne. She's the one who actually did the legwork.
Hey,
oh my God!
What did I write? I said Yvonne is the true hero of this movie. That woman went into that insane asylum by herself. And dug up like I would never set foot in that. Like she did that all by herself. Alice is like, go find Amanda and hurry. I'm like, girl.
That's what I'm saying. How did she even know where? When she came upon that, I'm like, damn, because I don't know how she would have found it based on that information.
The true hero.
Find Amanda.
The true hero.
We have to get to Krueger before he gets to Jacob again.
How do we stop him?
Through Amanda.
So we have to find her. Just don't ask me to take a jacuzzi with that guy again.
You know, I was in the tower when he used you to distract me.
Alice!
What are we gonna do?
I want you to go to the asylum, the one I told you about where all of this started, and find her.
Alice, you're coming home with me.
No, Dad, I've got something to do.
Alice, you're coming with me right now.
Dad. Find Amanda and hurry.
And she was involved in the best jump scare in the whole movie. Every time Amanda reveals herself in that sound effects, it is the scariest thing.
Young Amanda, by the way. We're not seeing old Amanda like we saw in part 3. She's gotten younger too in this one. She's like, if this is my dream, I'm being younger. So she says to Dan at one point that she had one of those dreams. It was first time she felt she was not in control. And going back to our whole conversation of, did Kristen bring Freddy back? Again, I don't know. Are you capable? Like, are you, your self-consciousness, if you're dreaming, I feel like this would be natural. As much as you don't want to dream about this, it's bound to happen. But now we're seeing, now this is also saying that Freddy is using Jacob, the unborn fetus, and he has the dream master power, evidently, as well. Very charmed, as you quoted lastly, like inheriting magic.
Well, the other scene, do we not remember when Prue almost drowned in the shower?
100%. I was like, we know where they got that from. I mean, down to the shower type that it was. This has 2 other Charmed connections. So our Super Freddy, which is a standout. I mean, like, fans always remember that scene. It's Michael Bailey Smith, who played Balthazar, Shax, who killed Prue, the Grimlock. He was the Source for the first time in All Hell Breaks Loose 2. And get this, David, one of the little it must be one of the little girls, right?
Yeah,
Rob,
yeah. It's one of them who were singing when she goes to the church or asylum first.
So that is the film premiere of our Christy. Billy and Christy. What the hell was her name? Patterson? I have her name here?
Marnette. I think it's Marnette.
Patterson?
Yeah.
Christy,
I will never forget that face. I was like, I know this face. And then obviously when I was old enough to look it up, and I was like, oh my God, that's Christy. Yeah.
Given stank face since she was a child.
I mean, child actor. You're just going to put them in everything. Like, why not? Get her
put them in everything.
Get her auditions for all of it. But yeah, I recognized her face immediately. So yeah. That is her. Did you just find this out?
Me, I did.
This time around.
Oh, you never knew. Like, oh, yeah. I knew for years.
But it was Christy. So just wanted to mention that for any of our Charmed fans that are still following us over here.
The storyline is Alice gets pregnant. You find out that she is struggling with the fact that her reality is not so real to her, because she's struggling with the fact of why are these things happening when she is awake. She's losing lapses in time, and things are happening to her, and she is losing control of the dream, even though she is the dream master. So here we are, and then we get to our first death.
Do we like this loophole? You know, we mentioned in previous episodes, there's always these creative ways for him to work around his defeat. If I can't do it this way, I'm going to do it the other way. Do we like this idea that it's going through the child? I mean, it seemed the way that
I actually really do. Yeah. I really do, because I'm going to tell you something. There's another part later on in the movie where he says
it's a
Alice is looking for Freddy, and Jacob, her unborn son at the time, who's manifesting as a boy in the dream, says to her, he's inside you, he's hiding inside you, where he always does, because he knows you so well.
Where is he?
Inside you, where he hides.
What do you mean?
Where he hides out. Inside. That's how he found me.
But how?
He says it's easy, because he knows you so well.
All right, Krueger. This time it's for keeps!
So there is that kind of duality between good and evil. She guards the good gate, he guards the bad gate. And he's hiding inside her, not only because he's using the baby's dreams to get to the real world, but also because she would not think to look inside herself is where he's quote unquote hiding. So I kind of like that idea. He's not technically quote inside her. Yeah. He's using her baby, which would make sense because the baby is an extension of her. So he has her ability to pull. So here's where I'm going to, I'm going to defend this whole baby thing. The baby is connected to her because it's inside her. It's part of her. So he is still using Alice's powers to pull the people into the dream unknowing to her. So really, technically, it is Alice still using her abilities. He's using it through the baby who's attached to her, inside her. So really, how far-fetched is that? He is using Alice.
It's actually Alice, it's not far-fetched at all. I mean, I don't think it's shenanigans or anything, but did we want this story to progress in this direction, you know, using the child and
I think there's no other choice because the baby being innocent and uncognitive of what's really going on, because Alice would have put the kibosh right on it if he just showed up and was like, bitch, I'm back, and like a straight battle between her and him again. She would have had to have remanifested all of her powers and ability and took him on again.
This is where it says the idea of the story around the child and birth was hatched by executive producer Sarah Reiser, who was a new mother mother at the time and constantly had her child and its well-being on her mind. The crew decided to build off this because they felt that teenagers and 20-somethings who were fans of the original were beginning to reach the age where they were likely talking about having families. I think that's genius because it is almost like you are growing with your audience.
Yeah.
Had it not been Alice, I think, had it been like a random new character, I probably wouldn't have been invested, honestly, as much. I mean, of course, we'd like to say, oh, this young mother, you know, we always want to. I think it's smart to have Alice back and continue it with the power. But at the same time, I'm like, for me, this is like the last holding on to the originalness of this franchise. I'm telling you, it's like it could just break off during this movie. Oh, what's holding on for me? But Alice saves this for me. The character
because you're holding on to a character from the previous movie, which you again identified. We talked about how, for me personally, how I identified deeply with her arc and who she was and what her struggles. So for me, that's also what sustained me partially. Although I did honestly at the very end when Yvonne had to do everything, kind of, I was like, bitch, you could, I know you're pregnant, but you should have went with her.
What happened? He's scared to come in because of Amanda. We have to find Amanda. She's the key. Come on.
I mean, she's a strong character. I mean, in the dream world, she was very scared. It's not like she was, strong or whatever in the thing.
Because it was very...
Yeah, it was her first encounter. She definitely held her own going into the asylum. I mean, but she was a great supporting character. She was the voice of reason when it comes to having to hear this nonsense. Which, by the way, I'll bring up because, I asked you guys about the Dream Child plot device. When Dan's parents found out she was pregnant, oh my God, I did not notice. They were pissed. They were so angry. They were like, "Are you kidding me? Really? This is what we're going to do?"
Out, when she was in.
When Mom was not happy about that.
The hospital.
They must have been, you don't think they've been talking about her since they first came upon her and that he started dating her? They're like,
I thought that was.
We hope he gets rid of this one.
Was so funny.
Alice.
Hi.
You look sweet today.
Thank you, darling.
Right.
I don't know how you guys feel about this, but I'm going to say that Alice was a little bit cut off by the legs a little bit in this movie. I wasn't really in her corner. So my thing with her, it's not like the constant like whining or just being like, "Oh my God, he's here." It's not necessarily about that because I get she's scared. It's the whole thing about her constantly bringing up Freddy as if everybody knows who he is.
Alice! Oh God, I'm glad it's you. It was terrible.
What happened?
I was in the dream. I don't know how, but now he's back.
I thought you were dead. You're 4 hours late.
4 hours? It was no accident. It was Krueger. He used to come in through my dreams, but not anymore. He found some other way.
No, Alice. I'm sorry. It was no dream. Dan's dead.
That I didn't get
using
either.
the he and he's back, and I'm like, who's back? Like, don't talk to me like I know who you're talking about. It's just the way she just always expresses her feelings about this man to people that clearly are going to be like, you're freaking crazy. We just talked about this in the previous movie, and all of a sudden, like, I don't care. And here's the thing, she's telling the truth. We know this.
Right.
But the way that she expresses it, like, yes, I would have been Dr. Moore and been like, get this baby. Get this baby away from her because she's nuts. Like, who is going to believe you the way that you're doing it? You're not being convincing. You're just constantly just being like, she even went to the dad. No, it wasn't that. He wasn't drinking. It was Krueger. I'm like, girl, nobody's going to believe you saying it like that.
We got to do something. Alice! Dad's already dead. Don't you see? It's starting again.
These sorts of outbursts aren't entirely uncommon.
The father must have heard about Freddy. That's the only one I'm like, he must have heard her mention this before.
Well,
but you're right. Every other kid that she came
But
about,
did you ever think, like, okay, here's the thing. Did you have
him.
to think about this for a second? There was never any resolution. So think about the end of the last movie. They get into a car accident. Alice grabs the keys from her still drunk father. Runs away. She's like, let me go. She goes in. She has her triumphant moment. She does her transformation. She fights Freddy. She defeats him. She comes out of the dream triumphant. All of her friends are dead.
Yeah.
She beats him. Nobody else dies from that point on. Nothing else is said. Dan recovers. Where do we go from here?
Possibly a year later, 2 years later.
Possibly a year or two later, Dan and her become a couple. There's nothing else said about it. Nobody else dies. Freddy's not mentioned anymore. You have that moment at the fountain where she's like, I can only sleep for a couple of hours. Dan says, I'm dreaming. And then there's that like little like funny moment where he throws the coin into the thing and he says, no, you do believe in like good luck and everything else because they both know Freddy exists, but really nobody else really is knowing.
And he's in the water.
You know, so really, does anybody else really know Freddy exists? Because they're still treating everything like accidents and freakish things. Yeah. Even when the father says, Alice, don't leave the house because I didn't watch your brother. It's my fault in his drunken stupor. So really, even Yvonne told her, girl, keep this to yourself. I don't even care if Freddy's real. She didn't say that. She's like, shut your mouth because they're going to put you away.
Don't dare say a word. You're going to get me fired.
So Yvonne was like the voice of reason. She's like, shut up.
I just didn't really like where they took Alice's character. I thought she was stronger in the fourth one.
They weakened her.
And
Kristen.
Yeah.
Kristen is
she definitely had all the knowledge, but I just didn't like the way they did it. It was just...
Here's the thing, and this is what I talked about with you guys in the last. Do you feel like the same thing with Joey Kincaid because they had been Freddy free for so long that it's like once you're out of that constant fight or flight mode that you let your guard down for a while, plus the fact that she really did love Dan and she's pregnant, so she's hormonal, and that she lost him. Do you think she lost her edge at that point, and so that's the reason why she didn't have that?
The woman was traumatized. I mean, she's scared. I totally get it. It's the hysterical part of it. She just sounds like she's sort of like really over it, and
not another sequel,
and it makes
please.
sense. It totally makes sense. Do I like the direction? I didn't expect her to be Wonder Woman, but like the movie had already expressed like, girl, you're not making any sense. You're not going to convince people in this way. Nobody knows who you're talking about. Change it up a little bit. By the third act, she was still doing it. That's my thing. Like,
well, I know when she was in the doctor's left, I wanted to slap the shit out of her.
They're using her souls. Like, girl, you can't just tell her that. First of all, Yvonne doesn't believe you at that point, so why are you saying it? It's just I get it. She has no outlet. She can't talk to anybody else about it, but just change it up a little.
But did you not, when she went into the dream, there was a part where she went into the dream and then she was pissed and she went to find Freddy and she's like, do you want me to find Amanda? You come out, you
where was her?
Then
where was that? Where was she at?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. But I was like, finally, she got pissed.
By the way,
finally, girl, finally.
You're just a little pregnant. That was a great line. I thought that was so funny. You're just
knocked up.
You're just
you know what I love? The line that I love. Actually, this is like one of the best shots of the movie. I don't know. It's so subtle and stupid, but I just love it. So they're in Alice's room. Yvonne comes over. Mark comes over later. This is after she finds out she's pregnant. And when Mark comes over, he starts, talking like he believes her finally, right? And then Yvonne goes, you too? And the camera zooms in on her face when she said it.
Whether you believe it or not, Krueger is back. He's after my baby, and if I don't try to do something about it, who will?
All I know is you're not doing yourself or your baby any good by acting like a crazy woman. Why don't you take off? Leave Springwood. Cool off somewhere for a while.
God damn it, Yvonne. You don't just run away from this guy. He finds you in your dreams.
He found a lot of other people before he found us.
You too?
He invited me to his house last night.
Look, we're all tired and we haven't had any sleep since Friday night.
That's the only reason you're alive.
No, it's not.
Yvonne, look through this stuff, will you? She's not crazy.
It is the best shot in the movie to me. I just love that moment. It's so dumb.
Because she's probably like, I heard this, I've been hearing this crap now and you're starting to talk about this crap now too?
I loved it so much. Yeah, that was a funny moment.
But just to your point, it did take, and this is the first time in a while that we had Mark survive one nightmare. Like usually they were in and out. The last time they went into the dream, they died. We mentioned Debbie, Sheila, Ricky. It was one and done. This one at least had Mark go into the dream. He got cut, so they believe now. Greta didn't have the chance, unfortunately. By the way, you know I'm a collector, but my God, that room was horrific with the dolls. That was insanity, right?
And
that was beyond.
You know, it
was her mother trying to keep her like a little girl?
Beauty all surrounding her. I have no idea. Ooh. What was wild? Did you guys notice that denim jean potted plant stand?
What?
That was so 80s.
Freddy was going to come out of that and come alive, because why would you have a full-legged, with shoes, a potted plant thing that just had a plant on top? That was crazy. I expected that in Boomerang or something. I feel like Grace Jones would be next to that.
What annoyed me was the mom character, the wannabe Delia Dietz. Sort of looking kind of like mother? Greta, don't eat anything, Greta.
Greta, you're being offered the opportunity of a lifetime. I think you should show a little gratitude.
One of my friends died yesterday, Mother. Do you mind if I take a few hours off to remember him?
But we're having a party, dear.
I read about him. Drunk or something, wasn't he?
Oh, he was just a friend of Greta's. Not someone special. Not someone she was seeing. You understand.
I understand the over the top, especially when she was in the dream, the mother, but she just kind of like it also that like kind of like halted the film, like her moments thumped the film for me and made it come to a big halt.
This is what I was talking about with sort of its cartoonish way of amplifying these characters into, like, not to say that those people don't exist, but I mean, I don't know if it's a commentary on the rich, but I mean, like, these people just don't care, and it's happened throughout the entire series. It's so wild on how out of touch they are with the world. I mean, and I you know, like you said, Ryan, the movie was rushed, so I don't know how a character like her was even created to begin with. You know, you could have had a really stern mother, like really like make her dream about something so disgusting and like horrific, but yet they just made her sort of like a gimmick.
They're laughing at her before they know that she's choking and dying. They're just laughing. I don't know. It was really unsettling.
Even Kristen's mother, like in the last movie when she drugged her to make her sleep, even when she went up the stairs, she was like, Kristen, like there was a nuance where like you could tell that she felt bad, like she had a moment. The other mother was like deadpan, like she was like a bad caricature actress, like giving me that like
that whole scene was
like I did not like that, and I understand the nuance. I will tell you though, I did like the comic book moment because I thought that was true. Like I like the cinematography of it too. Like to me, that was really cool actually. Because totally. I felt like that was
no
cool.
blood, but just him getting hacked up and seeing
shredded.
His like comic book face in fear, like
and the color
that was devastating.
Coming out of the body.
That was very devastating.
That was really good.
It sucked.
Time to die, you scar-faced lint dick!
But it showed someone fighting back and what actually would happen. Even if you're fighting back, Freddy still gets the upper hand unless you are, I guess, an Alice, a Nancy if you're lucky. By the way, I did love that the first dream when Mark goes in and she writes Alice on the stick figure on his drawing. That was genius to me.
Boss bitch move. Oh my God, I love that move so much. This is her really using her power for her to immediately just go into a dream state like that. I don't know if she just fell to the floor once she entered in.
That's what I wanted to do. Like,
but that was such a move. I really like that. Also, why are y'all falling asleep immediately? Like, I was so mad at Dan when he fell asleep. I just told you Freddy's here and you're gonna fall asleep.
Dan, it was Krueger.
What?
It happened while I was awake. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Now wait a second. Now, how could
he must have dreamt himself up. I don't know. Jesus, Dan, I'm scared.
All right. Stay right there. I'm on my way.
Okay, I will. Just hurry, okay?
Okay. Bye.
And then Mark did the same thing. Are you kidding me?
Thank you. Would you? I would have been. Oh my God. I would have been. This is the 80s. So I would have been snorting Vibrant.
Thank you.
If you don't know what Vibrant is, Vibrant, look it up. Vibrant, look it up. Exactly, because let me tell you something. Mark, he only had one bad moment. He wasn't deprived of sleep this whole time. I would have been drinking coffee so much so that I would have had to ran to the bathroom, man. So don't tell me you needed to fall asleep. If I knew someone was killing me in my sleep and I only had one bad dream, let me tell you, I would have been awake for at least a month before I passed out. I would have been shaking Vibrant. I would have been drinking coffee. I would have been running laps.
Wild.
So don't tell me he had to fall asleep. What an idiot.
Yeah, I was mad about that. Yeah, Dan did not stand a chance, unfortunately. Greta, I think, got the worst of it. What did you guys think of our dream sequences?
The comic book is my favorite, honestly.
The comic book is the best. Cool. Greta's was bizarre and annoying. The mother, like I said, the Delia Dietz character kind of like took me out of it, but I can understand like what they were going with, like this ridiculous, because her, like, they almost like wanted her to be like anorexic. So I guess I understand the pressure of like the mother wanting her to have like this eating disorder to be perfect and be a model. Dan, I just felt bad for Dan because again, but honestly, how the hell did he fall asleep
at the wheel? Just like he was just nodding off. I mean, I don't look. This town, Springwood, I thought was a very small. Yvonne must work at a pool that's in the city. I don't know what. The traveling in this movie is like they have to go like 6-hour drive. You see how long it took to get to Debbie's. I'm like, y'all live in Springwood. What? It was taking so long. Where did Dan have to go that took that long for him to fall asleep?
No, I think that's why they just.
Would you fall asleep if you knew you were going to get killed in your sleep, and you knew your woman, your child is at risk, and you were just awake 5 minutes ago?
Well, that's the thing, is that this.
He doesn't know that. I don't think he knows.
And he wasn't drinking.
This movie honestly gives you sort of the idea that time lapses differently when you're inside the dream world. This man could have dozed off for like a good 5 to 10 seconds, and that's all it took. I mean, he was minutes away from the restaurant. He died right in front of the restaurant. So I don't know exactly how close he was when he officially fell asleep, but the roads must have been clear. Nobody was there. But honestly, while you're in the dream world, it probably was like 5 seconds when he
had to die, obviously.
I mean, but just look at Sheila. Sheila wasn't asleep for that long. Teacher would have caught her and woke her up. She probably just dozed off, and that's all it takes. And the time just is just different.
Right, Rob, I think you're right. That makes most sense.
Well, I've always thought this, and you guys can answer this for me. I think you're right, and I think you're onto something. I've always felt like the minute you fall asleep, Freddy's got you, because his power will keep you from waking up. Even if someone wants to shake you to wake you up, he has the hold on you. And I think that's what it is.
Yeah, that is the thing. No, I would agree with that too. I think that is also part of it.
Because if you remember in the movie, I wasn't with you when you did the Dream Warriors. Joey, right, was in a coma and no one could wake him up because Freddy was holding on to him.
Yes. He was tied to that bed or whatever with those with
Nurse Tungula. So he, once you fall asleep, he's got you and you can't be woken. How would you ever
awaken?
Someone can't awaken you. So someone can't awaken you.
So these dream sequences were done more in detail, very personal to their characters. I thought they weren't just random boiler room chase offs. We got some signature, very unique stuff. However, we do have less of a kill count. Now, I remember in part 3 specifically, we had 3 deaths in a row. Like it was bam, bam, bam. Part 4, there was a huge kill count, but man, did these fools not have a chance at all. There was more detail into their dreams, but it just seemed a little one note. Do we prefer the long, extended dream sequences, less kills, or do we want more of a kill count with sort of a less attentive dream sequences? What do you guys prefer?
You want to go first?
I'll tell you this. I appreciate that a character like Mark didn't go out the first dream. Like, I think more of that is realistic because out of, let's say, 5 people, I'm sure 2 of them might be even lighter sleepers. Even if there's Freddy's magic and everything, it's more realistic to have characters survive one and then get it, to me. So I prefer, even though there's less kill count, I prefer that because to me it's more realistic as opposed to, like we said, boom, 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 Rickson.
Yeah. No, I get it. Yeah, I do like a good kill count, but yeah, if there's no creativity in the dreams, I'd rather it be smaller.
Yes.
I think there was a nice balance with this one. 3 just seems so low, especially compared to the other, so I feel like I was cheated a little bit, but the dream sequences were more creative in this. There was even a couple of like in and out fake outs and stuff, like the whole Yvonne stuff was cool. I thought
giving her a taste of it as well, so she could believe Alice what she's going through and still surviving, which is great because of Amanda, right? Amanda's shutting those doors.
Yeah, no, I thought that was cool.
When so, by the way, I said this to David off camera. Oh my god, we'll see, bitch. We'll see.
Oh
is my
yes,
favorite line ever.
No, yes, that is a line. He has no respect for elders. I was like, he didn't.
That's your mama.
Hesitate.
Your birth was a curse on the whole of humanity. I will not allow it to happen again. You brought me back to give you life, but now I must take yours.
We'll see, bitch. We'll just see.
I must be released from my earthly prison. How? Look for me in the tower.
You'll never find her.
Even the Greta's Bon Appetit bitch was amazing. Him looking at the camera too, so good, so good. And it's sad too because Greta's like, they're just gonna have to come through us, and then bam, next scene she dies. Oh, poor thing.
Well, we knew that was gonna happen.
Although Greta did seem like she had a heart of gold, at least for her beauty.
Don't you think? For me, I think that the reason why the count was so high in the Dream Warrior is because Alice needed all of their abilities to defeat Freddy, or at least in her own mind.
Kristen, yeah.
She needed their abilities
you're right.
to bolster her confidence, to bolster her ability to even take on Freddy, to survive even the initial attacking him, because obviously we know that she defeated him ultimately because of the rhyme that her mother taught her about, in the reflection of her mind's eye, you know, evil would see itself and it will die, as opposed to actually physically harming him. But the abilities that she received and all the things, and it was what actually protected her as she discovered the actual way to defeat him.
You're right.
So I don't think the count needed to be as high in this one. So that's for me why I think the variance in the body count, she needed all those people to die to bolster her up and to give her the confidence and to go through this transition of like, now you're alone. You have nobody. You only have Dan, who was about to die anyway. She didn't know if he survived. When he disappeared, he could have just, at that point, could have just faded away, died like a normal person from bleeding out, you know, and then had to fight him, you know, herself. I think that for this, like, definitely the whole Amanda thing, like the duality of Amanda's having a baby. She's having Alice is having her own baby. She's seeing how Amanda's giving birth. She's actually in the room while Amanda's giving birth, seeing the fear and horror of her giving birth to Freddy, and the whole thing of back and forth,
back
symbolism,
and forth, back and forth. Because he didn't look like that. He looked like Robert,
obviously,
right, in real life.
Yeah, he wasn't burnt before. He was a normal person. And then you see Jacob, this reoccurring character that she is finally starting to realize at some point that this is her unborn son, because she's like, Jacob, I love that. And I've always wanted that name. You know, I always liked that name or whatever. And then she's realizing that Jacob is actually her son.
Our dinosaur skeptic, the hater.
From Drake. Yes.
I'm your real friend, Jacob. Just like a daddy. Goochie, goochie, goo. Goochie, goochie, goo. I got you.
Mommy, meet my friend.
Nice try, Alice. Thanks, babe. It's my new look. Like it?
He is perfect in this role because he had those eyes he has like sad eyes, but could be perfect as a kid killer too. Like when he's going, Freddy, I was like, yeah, that kid. I could see him doing that too. That actor. We
have the moment we have to talk about, because Yvonne makes me laugh too when she finally falls asleep. She's going to. First of all, I want to say something else too, because Mark is really mean to Yvonne at some point because she doesn't believe him, and then he actually says, "I'm not dealing with the death of Greta really, really well, and I'm sorry." And she's like, you can see that she's hurt, but she's honestly probably the best acting of the whole thing. I'm not just saying that because I like her character, and she did like the majority of the weight, the lifting, so to speak, of the whole thing. But she really loving, she was protective, she did the majority of the like everything, the physicality and everything, but she could tell that she was like, you know, I know she was hurt, but then she was like, I understand, you're hurting too, and she kind of like, you know, was like, okay.
I'm not gonna listen to this anymore.
Then get out! Hey, come on. Yvonne, wait a minute. I'm sorry. I know I'm not dealing with this very well, but it's not your fault. And, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
You stick around for a while?
I wish I could, but I got a shift tonight. I gotta get going.
And she had to go take the damn shift, obviously, at the diner or whatever the hell she was working.
We learn about Freddy's history. You know, they're having that initial discussion finally about who he is. And even though she thinks that Alice is wackadoodle, Yvonne was listening. She goes, look, you said it yourself in your story. He can't get to people when you're awake. Help me understand. I'm trying to listen here. And she was like, well, he found another way.
When Dan died, you weren't even asleep. You even said so in the story.
I was like, girl, you had me. Yeah, but, you know, but that's the thing. Is like she is a really good friend. Like, she's gonna sit there and listen. She's gonna pay attention, even though she doesn't believe you. But you know, she's gonna pay attention. I wanted to before time runs out, I mentioned earlier I really wanted to talk about the glow up of our dad, who should not have been in this movie at all. Like, we had a sequence where he was supposed to die in the fourth one, and then they had him come back, and he becomes sort of a better father to her.
Thank God.
And I really do enjoy the moment where he brings up Rick as well. You know, we don't forget about him, right? Like, there was a movie before this, but I wanted to get your opinion about the dad. Do you feel that he's changed? He's for the better. Does he still look like he could relapse at any time? One of the things that specifically I wanted to ask was, you know, the graduation, how he kind of stood back. He didn't really get into the crowd. He, you know, felt like he was still an embarrassment, things like that.
I was afraid you weren't coming.
I watched from behind the stands. I didn't want to embarrass you. You know, the drunk showed up, that kind of thing.
That's in the past. Unless you stopped going to your meetings.
No, a deal's a deal.
Come on.
Where are we going?
Oh, to take a picture.
I don't take good pictures.
My dad kind of did that in a way. He wasn't like a drunk or anything, but he, for some reason, didn't want to be in the public eye when it came to my school. You know, he would always sit in the back. You know, I could never see him during my stage performances or anything. And he was just sort of that, I don't want to say isolated, but just like a dad in the background. I was just curious how you guys felt about his transformation.
By the way, Rick, did anyone notice that Alice did have a picture of someone in a karate outfit in her bedroom? And I assume that was supposed to be Rick. I don't think it was the actor, but it was a brunette guy in a karate.
I'll have to look that up.
Thing, and I saw it twice, so I was like, I bet you that's supposed to be Rick. So I did appreciate that. I gotta say, we don't really see this in these movies, a father or a mother actually having an arc like this. So by the time that Dan's parents came and he defended his daughter, I was like, oh, thank you so much. Even if you think she's crazy or whatnot, I loved him stepping up like this. And I actually felt like he wasn't going to relapse. I don't know. Maybe
that
I had hope.
That touched me because, first of all, after Rick died, I think that was his coming to Jesus moment. And I think that you see the progression of the character. I don't think he was relapsing. I think that he understood that he caused a lot of damage. And I think that him stepping back during the graduation was because he knew that he caused a lot of damage, and he didn't want to embarrass Alice because everyone knows he was a drunk. He was the town drunk. So the fact that he showed up and the fact that Alice, you could tell that she was like, this was actually good acting on Lisa Wilcox's part. She's like, you know what? No, we're going to go take a picture, Dad. Let's go. I think that was a really great part of the movie. That was a good acting part of the movie, and I appreciated it very much. There was another part that really touched me when he said it would be really nice to hear, I hope it's a boy, because I really love to hear, it would be nice to hear a boy laughter or a boy in this house again.
You disappointed in me?
No. No, I'm not. I sort of hope it's a boy. Be nice to hear a boy playing around in the house again. Just don't make a habit of it.
Very touching. The fact that he defended his daughter. These little touches that are in movies or in cinema in general. The fact that this is just a gory horror movie, so to speak.
Yes.
The fact that there is human aspects of it, which is really what kind of endears movies. Like some of these other movies that are out there, like the Terrifier or whatever the hell with the clown dude that just like mutilates people. There's no rime or reason to it in a way.
You got to watch the sequels.
I don't want to watch it. I mean, I like the fact that to go off on a tangent with the character where she's like that anime, so she gets empowered or whatever. But like, anyway, the fact that he is there. He is changed his ways, that he understands the ramifications of his actions. I think it was a beautiful moment, and I think that was humanized the character. And I think it was really good, and I don't think he was on the way of relapsing. I think he was supporting his daughter in the best way he could, and I think that...
The ending, right? When they had the picnic was cute too, like that happened.
And I think that he is still himself, because you see, I feel like his character was struggling against his own personality in a way, because he was like...
Yes.
I'm kind of a dick still in a way, but I'm also, I want to be the best man I can be, and I'm going to treat my daughter with the best way I can. He still has his own traits. He's not a perfect person, but he tried really hard. So kudos, amazing. I'm glad he was there, because that actually was part of the saving grace of the movie. I feel like for me that it added to the movie. It kind of layers up. The one part I did not like about the movie.
Is this the part that you said jump the shark? I was just going to ask you.
Yes. So there's a part where Yvonne finally meets Freddy, and then she gets in with Alice into the dream, because Alice is trying to find Amanda to put an end to Freddy. She realizes that Amanda is the key to get Freddy. Yvonne's like, she don't want to. As long as she don't have to get in a jacuzzi with that man again, she said. That was hysterical. That was hysterical for me. Alice actually stabs Freddy in the mouth with a pool?
That pole, like a something,
a pole drainer, something, a rebar, or a pool thing, or something. At some point, I'm gonna mess up the sequence. She tells Yvonne she has to find Amanda. So we have that part of the movie. And then there's a part where Alice takes this disgusting, bizarre baby carriage and pushes. She's inside the distorted dream of Amanda, Freddy, and her sort of mixed together, and she pushes him into the sea of all his daddies, the thousand maniacs that Amanda was trapped in when she was sexually assaulted by all of these people, and where Freddy was procreated, and he's ripped apart by the maniacs. Then we come to a scene where she sees Freddy playing with her son, and she tells her son to come to her, that he won't hurt her because he needs both of them. There's a funny part where Freddy's like, children, like he's like, ugh, children, kids, they're like always such a disappointment or something.
Kids, always a disappointment.
And then there's a scene, I'm trying to remember. Does anybody remember the artist? Is it MC Escher? Is MC Escher the artist that has like the steps that go all different directions?
Oh, those weird steps. I don't know.
Is that who the artist is?
I know what you're talking about. I have no idea.
I think it's MC Escher. Don't quote me on that. That's the artist that makes the steps and stuff. It's like the steps upside down and they're going in different directions.
So Freddy, 80s. Oh my God.
She's telling her son to run to her, and Freddy also impersonates Dan. Is like, son, come. Oh, thank you.
Oh, wow.
My brain isn't completely sucked up by my children. Children, what a disappointment. No.
Yeah.
He pretends to be Dan, and Alice knows that it's not Dan. And so he's running to his mother, and then there's the quote-unquote final showdown where her son tells him that he's hiding inside her because he knows her so well. This is where, for me, it was towards the end, but it kind of jumped. This is the jump the shark moment where Alice is pulling Freddy out of her.
Like
and you have this,
two, almost.
You have this face off where she's pulling, his face is like pulling out of her face. It's totally ridiculous looking to me. And he was like stabbing, like, let's get closer, and all this stupid stuff. And then you have Amanda in all of her nun glory telling Jacob that your mother's basically going to die, right? She's not going to survive this. She can't beat Freddy this way. She basically instructs Noah, not Noah, Jacob. Not the biblical name Noah, Jacob.
Yeah, this movie was very,
Abraham.
very Christian in this. Yeah.
So at the same time, Yvonne is in the tower of this asylum, breaking through this brick wall.
On it, I don't know, but I love it.
And she comes across the entombed body of Amanda, the
Mrs.
nun.
Bates.
And she frees her, and she turns her into skeleton and disappears. And she says thank you to Yvonne. So this is all going at one time. So you have them battling, and then Jacob's like, "Oh, leave her. She's not fun anymore. Teach me, Freddy." That was where it jumped the shark, with the stupid Freddy face on the kid.
Oh, you didn't like that he put the Freddy face on?
I thought that was stupid. It annoyed me to no end. I thought it was cartoonish. I thought it was stupid.
Out of everything,
I hated it. It annoyed me to no end. I thought it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous between her coming out of the body, and it just annoyed me. And that really just did it for me.
Jacob, Alice will not triumph. Only you can help her now.
Hey, leave her. Let's go. I want to learn stuff from you. She's no fun anymore. Teach me.
She's no good. Teach me. I thought that was stupid.
I didn't think it was great.
I thought it was stupid.
But I thought it was because he knew that, I don't know, because Freddy...
No, it was annoying. It was annoying. I don't know. It just really annoyed me.
I think this is what Rob was
going to bring up. And then Freddy contemplating it like,
That I wouldn't believe, because I think he would still kill...
And then he threw the body, and threw the body. He threw the body, another Beetlejuice reference. He threw the body like he threw the Beetlejuice through the Gina Davis and Alec Baldwin's bodies when they threw them like her like that. Like a skeletal thing, threw her down, and
So was Rob going to bring up last time you mentioned you didn't notice the faces the last time coming out? Were you going to bring up though how we got these three
and that annoyed me
looking
too.
Faces that were pulling Freddy into Amanda's body?
Yeah, that annoyed me too.
Those faces,
I know. Oh, Greta and her cheeks. Oh, poor thing.
Oh my God.
You guys will have to talk about this in the next one. Since I may not be a part of part 6,
it's a winner. It's amazing.
Well, Yvonne mentions, and they've done this a couple of times through the series. It's just like, take off, get out of town, go where, and it's like, how do you hide from a guy like this? He comes in your dreams and whatever. But if I remember correctly, in part 6, we find out, and I think we talked about this in our last episode, is that he needs a certain someone to exit out of Springwood. He can't leave past the border. So I wonder if
it's like Jason.
Well, I wonder if Alice could have just taken off and gotten out of town and been like, peace, and then everything would have been fine because she's no longer in Springwood. I don't know. So you guys will have to watch closely in that movie, because it made it seem
Camp
like
Crystal Lake.
Yeah, it just made it seem like that he wasn't allowed to leave unless, he had that special someone. So maybe this whole time everybody could have just left Springwood and everything would have been fine.
We're all looking for that special somebody, Rob. Okay.
Okay, so I got little...
Oh, wait a minute. I did like the fact that when Amanda took in Freddy into her body, that the little cute baby, Jacob turned into the baby, and she took the baby... Alice took the baby back into her. It was like a nice
It was
moment.
A happy ending. Yeah,
it was a nice moment.
She's like, just take your baby and leave. Go away. Like, let me be. No, Amanda was like, just go. We're done here.
She was like, bitch, bye.
No. Say that. Take your baby and leave.
So does Amanda have to, clearly it doesn't work, but so Amanda's constantly like struggling with like stomach issue, like this whole, like she's constantly
stomach issues. She doesn't have IBS. She has a demonic.
She's holding Freddy in and putting doors up so he can't get through. Like that's her fate now.
As she can. Another thing is when I first watched part 6, I thought that our lead guy, our opener, was Jacob, just grown. But nope, they're not connected.
That would have been
not connected at all. So,
so I wrote in Google, was there any plans for Alice to return? And guess what? Multiple times she was supposed to return.
Wow, they really tried to give her the series.
After part 5, New Line considered a direct continuation centered on Jacob, Allison's son, as a teenager. soldier, essentially a new dream warrior with Freddy trying to possess and control him. Lisa Wilcox has confirmed in interviews that she was open and excited to return as Alice, but the studio pivoted away from continuity and made Freddy's dead instead. Jacob would have been a teen and Freddy's way back into dreams through bloodline, much like the Dream Child hinted. In early versions of Freddy vs. Jason, there were scripts that included Alice and Jacob, with Jacob now grown and having nightmare-related trauma or powers. One draft had Alice in a Laurie Strode-like role, older, still protecting her son from Freddy's influence.
That would have been better.
She was almost back in New Nightmare as well. She auditioned for a role, not as Alice in New Nightmare, but the tone of the film was much more meta. And then she said she would love to return as Alice, either as a mentor figure, a protective mother, or even a final battle with Freddy. Horror fans have championed Alice as one of the best final girls in the franchise. She survives 2 Freddy movies, evolves from a shy badass to one of the heroines that beats Freddy twice. And then it says it's still as of 2024. She still says she would like to play Alice again in a reboot or a legacy sequel. Another cool thing was, you know how we just like the 80s had so many slasher films going on, but did any of the years ever have a Nightmare, a Friday the 13th, and a Halloween? Guess what? 2 years in a row. So in 1988, we had Friday the 13th New Blood, A Nightmare on Elm Street 4, and Halloween 4. And then in 1989, we had Friday the 13th Part 5, Jason Takes Manhattan, Halloween 5, and this Nightmare on Elm Street. Can you imagine that? What a glorious time to be alive.
I think I saw a video once. These kids were in a line and this reporter just goes down and says, "What's your favorite movie right now?" And a whole bunch of them just had horror movies to say because that's what was out in that week. And I think that, they were out kind of like overlapping at the same time. So that was cool.
So yeah, that was a battle of Freddy versus Jason at the box office.
School's out, Krueger.
Before we go, Rob is always coming up with an activity for us. So, Rob?
I'm just curious. I have no idea how this is going to go. We'll play just a few rounds of this. Basically, I'm just going to give you keywords that have, that will remind you of something from the movies that we have seen so far this summer. And all I want you to do is just give me the first word that comes to your head. Do not even think about it. If you think about it, then you're doing it wrong. So just say the first word.
Man.
I know, right?
Any man.
So yeah, there's no like winning or losing. It's just a fun exercise to see what pops in your head when saying this stuff. So,
and is it related to this movie?
It's related to any of them, any of the 5 movies we've watched so far.
Okay.
So it's kind of jumping around a little bit. Okay. So here's the first word: hall pass.
Screw.
School.
Okay. All right.
Did you say
screw?
Yeah,
screw your hall pass.
Screw.
Yeah.
Oh, screw.
Yeah.
Can it be a phrase or just one word?
Just one word. Yeah, just the first word that pops up.
Okay.
Diner.
Yummy.
Alice.
Okay. Tongue.
Phone.
Yes.
Phone. What did you say, Ryan? Kiss. Okay. Jesse.
James.
That's what I was gonna say. Jesse James.
Team Rocket.
I was gonna say James.
James. Okay.
Blasting off the speed of light.
That's funny. Rod.
Yes. And it's not because of how he looks, but that's the first
penis.
Thing that
what did you say?
Came to my mind.
Penis.
Penis.
Okay.
I have a penis, Phoebe.
Puppets.
Lamb chop.
Master.
Okay. All right. Jump rope.
Can't.
Kids.
Okay. What did you say, Ryan?
Can't.
Okay. Can't. Okay. Oh, comic.
Sad. Ryan, sad.
Sad.
Comics.
Books.
Okay. No, that's fine.
We're so stupid.
No, that's fine. Glove.
Winter.
Nails.
Freezy Freakies.
Vodka.
Soda.
Whatever her mother's name is, like just see her name. What's
It's
her name?
Marge.
The
Alice.
drunk.
Oh, Marge.
Marge, the drunk.
Okay, here's the last one. Hypnosil.
I need it. Need.
Coma.
Coma, actually.
No, that was good. No, you guys did good.
I would love Hypnocell. I don't want to have those recurring dreams anymore.
No, that's all I got for this one. I just wanted to see what reaction you guys would have. No, that was pretty good.
Rod, yes.
That was amazing. Also, I wanted to point out one last thing. So Dr. Moore has a very familiar face. Of course, I looked him up. He is our antagonist that awakens the... Oh, I forget. He was the one working under Scrappy in Scooby-Doo live action. Remember the bald guy?
Oh!
That was him. And he was also the eccentric, loud, vibrant host of our video game competition in The Wizard.
In The Wizard.
Yeah.
Super Mario.
Yeah,
Brothers.
that's him. That's him.
He also called up, which, by the way, just to bring that up, his Hippocratic oath would have stopped him from telling the parents.
That's what I was going to say.
Alice was cray-cray.
He should have never been able to say anything. He could have called Child Protective Services, but not a direct person.
That was a perfect example of classism. He sided with the rich people, and that's all it is to it. That's all it was. It's like, I don't care. I'm gonna look out for Dan's parents.
Do you think Dan's parents wanted her to have an abortion?
No. They wanted to raise that kid.
I think
they wanted to raise that kid so bad.
They wanted Dan too.
Yeah.
Dan point too.
What Mr. Jordan means is that we're aware of the burden that raising a child would place on you. We want to help. We want to adopt it and to raise it as though it were our own.
Look, I appreciate what you're offering, but no. He's my responsibility.
And ours. It's our grandchild.
They want to raise it as her own. That biatch mother was going to pass that as her own child. I've been like, okay, Mom. Okay.
Now, even then, Alice at that point should have shut her mouth.
She doesn't look. I mean, and that's the thing. It's like, we know she's telling the truth, but it's just like, you're not helping. You're not. So that's what I was
I would have been smart enough to not. And in all honesty, at that point, after Dan died, she should have went right into, knowing that he wasn't going to kill her, should have went right into that dream and confronted Freddy then.
I mean, look, it was a question that needed to be asked. I will say that. So I'm glad it was written in. You know, she had to contemplate it. It only took her 2 seconds. She was like, nope, I'm not doing it. So sorry, Mark, you're going to die because we're not solving this before then.
Oh, yeah. He's like, wouldn't that solve the...
He's like, we'll find it. And you know, good on him for just not... Because I'm like, I don't want to die. So can we fix this, you know?
And then I would have said, here, Mark, this is Vibrant and this is coffee. Stay awake for a little while so we can figure it out, okay? Don't go right to sleep after the one night.
Instantly. But
this is instant coffee. It's called Folgers. No, it's named.
We wouldn't have had Freddy killing if we didn't have these people falling asleep. That was another episode of our Nightmare Summer. I've been saying it since that first episode. I am not looking forward to Freddy's Dead Radical Ones. I'm sorry to tell you.
I am. I already told you I have some fun ideas.
I love it.
Well, at least in post production,
you ain't gonna save the whole movie though. At least maybe you will. Maybe you will.
Be like me.
I have some wicked ideas.
Be like me. I love it. Be like me. You'll get it. You'll get it when you watch it.
That movie is, and there's a fake out in the beginning. I remember there's a fake out. This was the movie that was in 3D. They got their gimmick movie in 3D.
I still have my 3D glasses that came with the series set.
Is this the movie where the guy thinks he's Freddy's son and it just like turns into, and then it's actually his daughter and she's like a psychiatrist or something.
And I say to Rob all the time, it's Jason.
And then it's the sperm spirits. Oh, Freddy, we're the ghost of Christmas Eve.
It's horrible.
It's those. Yeah, this is a really bad one.
But look forward to that because I'm sure we have a lot to say about it. Rob, when you're not hanging out over here, where can the lovely people find you at?
On Instagram, I have a movie page. It's under Rob the Movie Geek or the Unique Geek, all one word. Yeah, I will not be in the next review of Freddy's Dead, but like part 2, I will give a 2-minute review as I did before and share my thoughts of part 6. So I'm there in spirit.
And
Rob will not be there. Rob will not be there because he knows there is no quality or value in this movie, so he's not even going to show up for it. He's like, oh, by the way, I'm on sabbatical. I have an urgent matter that I have to attend to that for the next 3 weeks while you're recording that I cannot get to this
At least
movie.
New Nightmare's better.
Yeah, I just want to jump right to New Nightmare, so.
Yeah, I got a New Nightmare. It's the next movie coming up.
And you can always reach David at Universal Appeal 2020, all one word, and the Radical Retro Rewind podcast, one word, on YouTube.
We'll make the best of it. We'll make the best of it.
We will.
I don't know how, but we will. I will give you back your power, Freddy.
And this is it. He's dead. They saved the best.
I'll be in the time loop. I'll be in that time loop with Alice. Better be there. Better be there trying to save Debbie.
So radical ones, as always, stay radical, and we will see you next week for another episode. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.